All right, kicked off this week with the El Centurion by Don Pepin Garcia. What a classic cigar. Thanks to Charlie from thecigarfeed.com for gifting me this cigar during our recent trip to the Dominican Republic. Actually, this is the second time Charlie has hooked me up with an El Centurion. When I first met Charlie at IPCPR last year, he gifted me a pair of these as well. He remembered my review of it and recalled how much I enjoyed the El Centurion. Woodsy, sweet and spicy, easily one of the top 10 all-time cigars that I've smoked. Sadly, they were a limited edition cigar with only about 850 boxes made for each of the three sizes. So I'm not big on rumors, but rumor has it that Don Pepin still rolls these for personal consumption. All right, another cigar that made the trip home with me from the Dominican is the La Aurora 1495 series. It was great having what seemed like an endless supply of these. And being able to light up one at will, balanced, chewy with a subtle spice. It doesn't overdo it. An all-around perfect anytime cigar. Thanks to the folks at General Cigars for sending me a handful of samples of the new Rare Corojo 10th anniversary. I remember being enamored with the Rare Corojo back in the early days of Stogie Review. I always found myself looking forward to their release every year. The 2006 and 2009 releases of the Rare Corojo are two memorable releases for me. I saw the 10th anniversary being smoked and discussed a lot on Twitter within a few hours of receiving mine. I'm not sure how long some of my blogger friends waited, but I decided to let mine sit for about 2 weeks. I was a bit hesitant to light one up after hearing not so great things on Twitter. I think my patience paid off, and I was greatly rewarded. The flavors of the 10th anniversary were crisp, balanced, and plentiful. There was a constant and heavy cedar note that really did it for me. I have no clue how long this CAO Extreme has been sitting in my humidor. I'm really tight on space these days, so I was trying to move things around to create a little breathing room when I came across this lonely relic. I couldn't find any notes in any of my cigar journals about any previous time smoking the CAO Extreme, so I can't really say how much age played a factor in this. I can say it added a little bit of sweetness to a late night espresso. Believe it or not, this was only the second time trying the Nesta Miranda Art Deco. I wasn't a huge fan of them coming out of IPCPR, and I never decided to give them a try when they started hitting shelves. While I was smoking the cigar, I was reminded what turned me off to the Art Deco at IPCPR. Not very complex, and it has a distinct tartness to it on the finish. Really not a quality that I find myself looking for in a cigar. Here I go showing off again. The $30 price tag of the La Flor Dominicana El Museo makes it far from a staple in my humidor. The El Museo is a Dominican Puro made for a fundraising program out of New York City called El Museo del Barrio. Only 48,000 of the El Museo were made. I've had two, both of which were gifted to me by Mike Copperman, former owner of Bethesda Tobacco, now known as W. Curtis Draper Bethesda. And for $30, you get a very unique, elegant, mature flavor profile. Lots of exotic, creamy, and woodsy notes with a slight tang to it. Really an exquisite cigar smoking experience. The smoking and showing off a $30 cigar make me a snob? Possibly. I'm sure someone out there has a diva story of me from IPCPR. Sporting a reddish, rosado-looking Ecuadorian Habana wrapper, the Rocky Patel 1961 really stands out in your humidor and on your palate. The lovely, sweet, earthy flavors that are complemented by a thick, smoky aroma. Around the halfway point, a creamy, nutty flavor enters the mix. Lots of smoke and an assortment of bold flavors make the 1961 a great smoke worthy of carrying Rocky's birth year. The Dirty Rat by Drew Estate received an honorable mention in my top 10 cigars of 2010. I think it would have found a solid spot in the list if at the time they were easier to find. Nowadays, I seem to be finding them in good quantities at Buckhead Cigar in Atlanta and W. Curtis Draper in Washington, D.C. In fact, this box I'm working on now is actually for my brother, but since he failed to pay me, they're all mine. What I love most about the Dirty Rat is its firecracker qualities, an eruption of bold, dynamic flavors from the first puff to the last. I have this theory. When it comes to the Liga Privada by Drew Estate, you're either a T9 or a T52 person. I rarely see anyone who likes and raves about both blends. For instance, I'm a Liga Privada T52 guy. But when the question changes to which do I like better, the Dirty Rat or Flying Pig, I'll take the Dirty Rat each and every time. Now that's not to knock on the Flying Pig. Like I said, I'm a Liga Privada T52 guy, and the dark T52 flavors take a unique twist in this uncommon size. Talk about a cigar where age has done wonders for it. The Mi Barrio is a perfect example. Around 3 years of age has taken the Mi Barrio from a nice, okay cigar to that exceptional level. Lots of toasty, woodsy, smoky, spicy notes that time has allowed to meld together for a rich, balanced flavor profile. I remember smoking these after IPCPR 2008, and everything tasted so muddled and uncoordinated. Today, not the case. Sadly, this is in the category of the El Secherion I mentioned earlier, where it's a limited edition cigar, and unless you stocked up, the Mi Barrio will be hard to find. If you do, though, boy, are you in for a treat. We haven't reviewed a lot of Opus X on the site, mainly because they are hard to find for anywhere near MSRP, only released twice a year during Christmas and Father's Day, and any Opus X guru will tell you it takes a few years for them to fully develop. Brian Hewitt said it best in his review, quote, "is a surprisingly potent given its size, but it's not all power. There are a lot of interesting things happening in the flavor department, and to be honest, I enjoyed it more than I was expecting," end quote. The most intriguing aspect to the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor is its Mexican Maduro wrapper. Traditionally, I'm not a fan of Mexican tobacco. I didn't think they grew tobacco that was suitable in quality to be used for wrappers. I originally wasn't a fan when the Mi Amor was initially released, but I've gone back to it a handful of times, and each experience has been better than the one before. Reasonably priced with a milk chocolate and cedar flavor profile make the Mi Amor a cigar that is slowly becoming a staple in my humidor. Thanks to John from J&J Cigars in Seattle, Washington. My review of the El Triunfador Soto edition earlier this year caught his attention. I'm happy to hear that I was able to send some business his way, like I proved with the Man of War Ruination, the CAO MX3, and now with the El Triunfador Soto. Bloggers can impact sales by pointing their readership to cigars they didn't even know existed. Some out there may call me a joke and say I don't know anything about cigars or bloggers can't sell cigars. I'm not going to argue with the first two, but damn it, I'm proud of increasing sales for B&Ms that have showed the utmost support for bloggers. John, thanks for all your support. Finally, you don't have to wait till July 22nd to celebrate Smoke a JJ for JJ Day. For me, any day is a good day to smoke a Series JJ and remember the little Busto who taught me the meaning of unconditional love. An amazing flavor profile isn't the only reason to smoke a cigar. Sometimes a cigar can be a phenomenal smoking experience for the memories of smiles and tears it provokes. There are a lot of firsts that we remember throughout our lives. For me, the Series JJ represents those first feelings of excitement of knowing you're going to be a father and the 10-month journey culminating in the birth of the most precious gift. I can't believe it's approaching 4 years. Love you, buddy. More information on the Series JJ Little Robusto edition will be coming soon.